na wala tayong testing set at saka holdout set. What we can do here is basically we can divide the data set into 3. The problem there is meron na kayo, kukunti yung ibang data ninyo, yung iba sa inyo kukunti ang data. So, pag dinivide natin yan, then probably we will be losing some predictive power of your model. So, if you have a data of around 1,000 or 500, perhaps at least 500, so pwede natin gawin tong training set, testing set, and holdout set. Just divide them. So, parang kumbaga, 70-30, pwede siguro 60, 20-20, 60%, 20% for the testing, and 20% for the holdout set. So what we're going to do here is, for the training set, we're going to identify the forecasting model, and then you include now the testing set in the model, see if the model still holds or still the same. Or pagka nag-change siya, that is actually a problem of the data structure, no? So meaning to say, your data structure is not consistent. So kumbaga, you are facing heteroscedasticity there. So magkaiba yung groups of data mo. Pag yung 60%, nilagyan mo ng additional 20%, that is going to change the structure of the data. Okay, so we know when we talk about structure of the data, ang kinaiya sa data, either it is with multiplicative or additive components, or seasonality, or with trend components. So it could change if your data is really different from, if those groups of data are actually different from each other. If you want to further investigate on that, then what you can do is really to come up with a ANOVA, no? Like the mean of those 3 sets, you can determine if they significantly differ, and then therefore your data structure is really going to be compromised. Magdi-differ siya dun sa training, testing, and holdout set. But ideally, pagka dinivide mo yung data tapos hindi naman nagbago yung yung model mo, the same pa rin siya. Kasi for example, ARIMA 211 pa rin siya, na ginamitan mo ng training set, tapos dinagdagan mo ng testing set, saka holdout set, ARIMA 211 pa rin siya din. Tumataas yung R-square or stationary R-square, tapos gumaganda rin yung MAPE. Those are the ideal scenarios, no, for this partitioning, data partitioning and forecasting. So basically, as I have mentioned, if the data structure is changing every time that you are going to include the testing and holdout set, then there will be a redefinition of your model, of your forecasting model. And when you redefine your forecasting model, then you have to determine which is the best model fit, or model that fits the data. So, so far, if we can summarize this discussion, this is basically the expert modeler, the forecasting expert modeler of SPSS is highly dependent on the structure of your data. So, ito yung sinabi, or I think one of you mentioned last time, garbage in, garbage out, no? So if the structure of your data is such a way that it is going to give you a very good model fit, then probably you are not actually putting in garbage data, no? Tapos, if you have a very bad data, bad structured data, what I mean to say is that it is all facing issues of normality, diba? First is it's not normal, and then second is you are facing the problem of autocorrelation, heteroscedasticity, and stationarity. Those 4 measures you violated, then probably you do not expect na gaganda yung what is this? The result of your your data. Baka tendency is mababa ang ating R square or stationary R square at saka yung MAPE mo, medyo mataas yung percentage of error in absolute percent error as our indicator or as our measure of a good model or model fit. So lahat yan, depende sa structure ng data mo. And so that is why I taught you how to improve the structure of your data before running it in Expert Modeler. So all of those activities that we have done so far are actually intended to do that. No? Na intindihin niyo yung data ninyo, tapos tingnan niyo kung maganda ba or pangit. Okay? Or what I mean by pangit is that marami siyang issues. You have questions on this or clarification for this slide?
None daw.
This is an example of the testing and the training at saka data set, no? So we haven't done this so far, but I'm just going to discuss this one. If you can see the asa man yung highlighter today? Laser pointer. You can see this one. Hindi ko ana. Gusto ko itong pen. You can see the date here. This is actually the data that I am using as my training set. So I have a testing set which is from 1994 to 1997. Okay. So, and then there's also the entire data set from 1990 to 1997. So what I did is comparing I think in this section, parang di yata kasama ang 1994 to 1997. So there is this MAPE which is 4.16. But if you try to include the entire data set from 1990 to 1997, this one, your MAPE is down to 0.61. That's a very big improvement of the data. So what is being highlighted here is that you can actually perform the training and the testing or the training set just to see how the model is behaving or how the model is fitting the data, and then also do the same for the entire data set and then see if the model greatly improved or has improved. So in this manner, malaki yung improvement niya. So meaning to say, the structure of data really, or not the structure, the number of sample size really mattered in this kind of data for carbon dioxide data. There are how many functions here? 4 functions. There is this cubic function na ginamit in forecasting, gagamitin for forecasting. This is regression, non-linear regression, quadratic, logarithmic, and there is the linear regression over there. I think I discussed this one last time when I also highlighted the capability of the expert modeler from only just forecasting one variable, or what I mean to say is one variable of interest into several variables of interest. No? So you have this one different variables, market 1, market 2. Yeah. These are and so on and so forth. Okay. So lahat sila, you can really run that one in expert model. Discuss ko na yata yan last time. So for time series data considerations, we need quantitative data should be time series. Time series should be stationary and there should be no missing values. So you're all familiar, I guess, with all of these considerations and assumptions. For the time series modeler, you go to your analyze button and then there's the forecasting module. For the forecasting module, you create models and then you have to do this one. Na-discuss ko na rin to last time. Okay, so there is also a very important button there, which is the criteria. Probably we can explore that one more later. So in this manner, you can actually input univariate analysis with several dependent variables. So pwedeng all of them ilagay natin dito sa dependent variable. Ayan. Tapos pwede rin tayong, if there is a factor, excuse me, like say for example, this is broadband sales, no? So say for example marketing. So if they have marketing variable, you can actually put that one in the independent variable right here. So looks like you have a not only univariate analysis, it also caters for multiple variables, no? Multiple variables, both dependent at saka independent. So what we mean by univariate analysis is that uh, we model we model and forecast one variable based on its past values. So isang variable lang yan. And then for multiple variables, hindi na siya univariate. We don't also call that one as multivariate. Okay? Meron ka lang independent variables, which means to say other variable aside from the dependent variable. No? Like say for example, the advertising is actually influencing the sales of broadband. So ganun siya. Okay, there's multiple dependent variables. Okay. So here, um, seasonal data consideration. Uh, Basically, what we did here is, or what I did here is that I did not I did not identify if it is seasonal or non-seasonal. I allowed the expert modeler, the time series modeler, to determine what specific model, if it is seasonal or non-seasonal, by clicking the all models uh, na command. When you click that one, then probably you are not identifying if it is seasonal or not seasonal. However, the expert modeler is going to cater both the non-seasonal at saka seasonal data consideration, including the trend models also. And then you have this automatic outlier detection. So the assumptions of these different outliers you can explore when you get serious about forecasting as a probably your tool or method in your dissertation. There are different different assumptions. You can have check them out. Hindi ko na siya in-include dito then probably. It's just because I also depend on this detect outliers automatically. So as a consideration for data that has outliers. So you can just click on that right away, parang kumbaga generic or protocol. Well, as I have said, well, probably this event can be such as economic, political, social. Etong event na to could be also, say for example, in terms of economic, as I have mentioned a while ago, baka dyan nag-introduce sila ng marketing or bagong marketing program or nag-start sila na mag-advertise. So, hihiwain niya yung i-slice niya yung data from the yung data na hindi pa nag-advertise at saka dun sa data na nag-advertise na. So, Ito yung capability niya, no? And then when you click on that, you go to model again. And then you click on the event. Okay. I think that model is around, is somewhere in criteria, if I am not mistaken. No, when you click the criteria, expert modeler, and then click on criteria, lalabas ito. Okay. Let me see. And do that. Let's check on SPSS. Do you have questions so far? So next meeting, I'm just going to put another column there for your final model using the expert modeler of SPSS. So i-run nyo na yung data ninyo. After checking all the assumptions, the 4 assumptions, see if you are facing with certain issues, then and let us evaluate how SPSS modeler tackled those certain issues.
Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
Doc, katong activity 6 nga broadband data, asa ko ng data to, Doc?
Mayata sa SPSS.
Species nga data. Okay, Doc. Take no.
Oo.
Noted.
Sige, tingnan natin ha. Abrihan nato ang broadband. So, asa ganin siya mo adto? You're seeing my screen, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes, Doc.
So, sa C, I think it's in the program files. Tapos, hanapin natin si IBM, hanapin natin si SPSS. Tapos, statistics, click and click. And then, may samples yan. Tignan natin pa nandito. Yeah. So, it's broadband. What's the data set again? It is, let me check. It's a data set. Broadband underscore 1. Kasi parang may ibang broadband yata. BBB broadband. Oh yeah, there's a broadband underscore 2. So let's have the broadband underscore 1. So that's the data. So as I have mentioned, there are how many variables here, or how many markets? There are 85 markets all in all. Tapos at the end, meron siyang total. So, if we are going, as I have mentioned a while ago, yung criteria is over here if you're going to include the event. Okay? So, pagka meron kang nilagay na event dito, automatic makiklik mo itong event na ito. Pagka meron kang nilagay na event dito sa independent variable, then mag-ano yan, mag-reflect yan. Okay, and then i-check mo na lang yung mga independent variables pag marami kang nilagay. Pwede mo rin hindi i-check yung mga ibang independent variables na nilagay mo. Okay, but what's the purpose of putting it there, no? If you are not going to include it in your model? Well, probably you would just like to evaluate with or without that particular variable, is your model doing well or not? Yeah. Okay, so let me go back to my slides.
Doc, additional lang po.
Yes. Go ahead.
We will choose which market ang among i-analyze or na siya'y pre-structured instruction for this?
I think it's part of the instruction. Try to review the activity. There's some Some hidden ang tawag niyan, parang trick questions ano, but that is part of the activity. You can
Okay, Doc.
see ma-realize niyo yan sa question. Let me see the ano ba yung let me just have a short glimpse of that activity. Okay lang ba ang audio ko? Hindi putol-putol dyan?
Okay lang, Doc.
Sa ko nga na-upload yung activity 6.
Yan,
Hindi ko
Doc, hindi
makita
ko
dito.
makita. Kaya nag-ask ako kung which ang instruction.
Nasa mong
Uh-huh.
PowerPoint last time, no?
Okay. Nasa last, no? Let's check. Dire ba to?
Murag dara daw.
There are qualifying terms here for you to detect and be guided with your analysis. Okay? So I will leave that to you. Interpreting the activity or the question. So we're done with the criteria with including independent variables in the model. And so we proceed with looking at the model fit. We would like to see the fit statistics on this section. So you can actually select certain criteria like your BIC, mean absolute deviation, the MAPE, the R-square or the stationary R-square. So pwedeng yun. As long as you know the background and the assumptions behind this different goodness of fit. Well, probably what I thought you are these three. Yung RMSE, root mean square error, and then there is also the MAPE as well as the MAD or the mean absolute error, mean absolute deviation. For the BIC, Bayesian information criteria, pababaan lang din talaga yan siya. So if you're going to select BIC as your goodness of fit statistic, you must have another model to compare your existing model. Kasi you cannot tell if that BIC if that model is good based on BIC. So dapat dalawang models that would be for model comparison. Even in the three measures of accuracy, the MAD, MAPE, and MSE, still model comparison pa rin siya. But for R-square, you can have actually a good sense that your model is good when your R-square is more than 50%. That is a very good what is this? Very good forecasting model already. No? So if you have that kind of statistics for your R-square or stationary R-square, then I think that is a good indicator for a good model already. And then we go to visual plots. The visual plots will help us determine if the forecast or the model is very close to the actual values, no? The estimates, the forecast, no? Or the estimated values of your dependent variable is very close to the actual values. That would be very nice. Pero pagka lagyo lang siya, nagkasalaag ang mga fitted ang imuhang estimates, then probably you don't have a very nice model. So mag-remodel na pud ka, then probably you would like to consider restructuring your data. So what I mean by restructuring your data is that baka hindi normal. Kung gusto mong gawing normal, baka autocorrelated. So baka gusto mong gawing non-autocorrelated bago mo ibala sa SPSS, no? Bago mo siya ipaprocess kay expert modeler. Okay? So we're done with this. Done with this also. Okay. So transfer functions, we're done with that also. Then we have the broadband. Let me see if the remaining slides are still very necessary for you for the class. Let me just proceed with the rest of the slides. Ang uban na ni gagmay naman lang sa maani. So these are actually some ang mahirap dito is that you have to do this in hands-on because mahirap siyang i-imagine lang, no? So i-hands-on na lang natin to siya next meeting since we will be having a face-to-face class next meeting. So I'm going to let go of this. And then let me proceed with this is very nice. Okay. So kanina I'm trying to emphasize on independent variables. So for forecasting also, you can experiment on several independent variables and see ano yung pinaka in SPSS, you can do that one. Ano yung, di ba, I mentioned na you can put a lot of independent variables there and then just click on whatever you want. Well, basically the criteria there is which among the independent variables should you include in your model. So you have to identify the significant predictors. So if we are going to open up catalog catalog underscore sysfac na what is this? Seasonal. Wait lang. What is sysfac? Catalog. Hindi ko alam yan, sysfac na yan. But anyway, that is the title, file name. Okay, so in the file you can see sales of men's clothing, women's clothing, and then jewelry, sales of jewelry. So there are actually 3 sales here, no? Men's clothing, women's clothing, and jewelry. And then there is this number of catalogs mailed, number of pages in catalog, number of phone lines open for ordering, amount spent on print advertising, and number of customer service representatives. The rest of the variables, the rest of the variables are actually, those are the time series component of your data. So it is declared already as time series with these variables right here. These are made up variables or derived variables from the analysis of the time from the time series analysis. So there is the seasonal error decomposition, no error from seasonal decomposition, and then we will be discussing this one, But this time we're interested on this. What's the model that we can use based on this? These are probable dependent variables, no? Kasi revenue yan, sales of men's clothing. And then these are the probable independent variables or the regressors. So, say for example, we're interested in determining sales of men's clothing. What influences sales of men's clothing? Among these variables, sino ngayon ang may mga malaking influence or significant influence sa pagbebenta ng or sa income na nakukuha ng company in selling men's clothing? Okay? So, kumbaga, what would be the strategy of the company to increase the sales of men's clothing? So, will the company deal with mailing more catalogs, no? So, murag sinauna pa ni nga data or murag katalog mga magazine, no? So, kuan ba ni sila mag-print sila dagdag magazine, then mail them to several households, or just there's another way. Instead of mailing the entire catalog, this is going to be a catalog wherein men's section will just be part of that entire catalog, diba? So murag katong, if you can remember, I can remember the catalog ni Sarah Lee, no? Na section sa men and na po section sa women, male o sa female. So probably that could be, or kung dili gani unsa ba nga mga ubang magazines, then there are sections of selling male what's that, men's clothing there. Or there's another intervention, which is number of phone lines open for ordering. So kumbaga, this is telemarketing already, right? So they will just call in and then put up their order, then basig that is actually wala pa na uso si Lazada, because in Lazada you don't have to call already, right? You just have to click and click. But this one is sinauna pa siya. You have to call. Napasiguro na i-charge ang pagtawag na kay long distance man. So you have to call and then you order, and then they will send you through mail or through courier ang imong order. I do not know the arrangement of payment here, basig COD gihapon or you have to pay in advance. Okay? So may una na concerns that really was a long time ago, and this time is we are really very advanced already in our telemarketing technology. Okay? Ang problem lang talaga na nakikita ko sa Lazada is when it comes to apparels, mga sinina, my size really doesn't fit, no, the product that is being sent. I ordered kaysa pa man hinoon. Kunya abi na kung mo fit sa kuha perti man din gamaya. So I will not trust anymore when it comes to that kind of ordering. Palit na lang gid ko sa department store para eksakto nga size na ko. But when it comes to other things like there are good items, no? Nakapalit og maayo nga bitawng pagsindi sa gasol. So that's a very good product there. Murag kuan siya. Dili siya butane, dili po siya lighter. It needs electricity to do that. But that's nice. There are a lot of good products out there sa online. Just an example. And then there's also amount spent on print advertising. Okay, so I do not know, basig mga billboards or mga like pamphlets or something else. Okay, print advertising. Number of customer service representatives. They're going to deploy more sales rep in department stores or in other conspicuous areas or in public places, just to increase the sales of men's clothing. This is now the hypothetical, or kumbaga, what you're thinking about how to increase men's clothing or the sales of men's clothing. So you have different interventions or strategies here. So your task is really to identify which among, kasi mahal naman pagkagawin natin lahat yan. So sabi ni manager, ano lang, tingnan natin based on our data because we have data of this. So we have time series data of this. Tingnan natin which is the most effective or yung pinaka-effective na strategy to increase sales of men's clothing. So you run that one using the protocol that I have discussed. But this time, using the same data from the previous slide, run men as a function of male, the 5 dependent variables. Men as your, yan, no, yung men na yan, this one, right here, as your dependent variable. So run men as the dependent variable, and you have the several using time series modeler and check detect outliers automatically and parameter estimates. So when you check parameter estimates, meaning to say you have this several independent variables. Save the model using men's clothing as file name on your desktop and click OK. So this is now your model. Stationary R-square is very high. It's 0.9. The model is seasonal. It's 010, and there is some component of differencing. Nag-differencing siya right there, 010. So how is it? Let's look at what's the file name? Catalog. Let me not just discuss this a little while siguro I'll discuss this one. Kasi ano to kumbaga, this is already experimenting on that particular model. Ay, na-keep na yun noon. Open natin si tanggal natin to si, let's open another one, which is catalog sysvac right there. So this is already declared as I have mentioned, meron ka ng year, month, at saka date components dyan. So it's already declared as a time series. You go to your forecasting, create models, and then you have your men as your dependent variable. And then you have your several independent variables, all of this. And then on the statistics, we're going to check on parameter estimates. Let me just double check what I have checked also. Check the save. No, not this one. Siguro. So what's the instruction here? Outlier. Tingnan natin kung may outlier. Catalog sysvac, and then in variables, where can we find outlier? It's on the criteria, right? So outliers, detect outlier automatically, and then just click OK, continue. And so I think we're good to go. Aside from the save, you save your predicted values up, and then I think we have to also save that one somewhere here. But click this one. What's the file name? The file name is men's clothing. Save the model using men's clothing. Where is that one? Hindi pa. Okay. In your desktop. Let's go to desktop. Men's clothing. Okay. So we have the same model, 010. This is non-seasonal and that is the seasonal component. Pwede ba natin yung Hindi. Okay, so basically, how do you know that that is the seasonal and this is the non-seasonal? Ang unang when you try to evaluate time series modeler. When you try to evaluate ARIMA, the first entry here is the non-seasonal, and then the second entry there is the seasonal. So when you have this first entries right here, that's your non-seasonal, and then the second right here is the seasonal. So ganun yung arrangement niya. Okay? So far we're done with that. There is actually 9 outliers right here. You can see there's 9 outliers right here. Okay? So stationary R square and R square, they are both high. And then RMC MAPE is 5.17. Normalized BIC is 4.59. Basically, as a rule of thumb, the model that your SPSS gave you is the best fitting model. So if you come up with a good model such as this already, you don't question anymore. But ang mahirap kasi niyan, pagka binigyan ka ng model na hindi fit or hindi maganda yung result, walang nag-significant. So meaning to say, we want to do something else para naman maging significant yung research natin. Mahirap naman yung nag-dissertation ka tapos walang significant, di ba? So parang sayang lang yung effort mo. So as much as possible, dapat may impact or may significance yung ginagawa mo. So we try to explore other ways how to instill and how to extract that component in our research, the significance of our research. So why is it significant? Your Young box must not be significant for your model to be significant. Okay? So there are 2 significant number of predictors right here na na-identify niya. Okay? Let's look at those 2. The sales of men's clothing, number of predictors 2, and then there is number of outliers 9. Sales of men's clothing, number of catalogs mailed, number of phone lines, and then what is this? Open for ordering. 3 actually, no? This in the hindi pala. That is the dependent variable, the sales of men's clothing. Okay? So number of catalogs made is, that's the first variable predictor, and then the second one is number of phone lines open for ordering. So out of the 5 independent variables, ang significant variables are the catalogs mailed, number of catalogs mailed, yung number 1, and number of phone lines open for ordering. I think this is the number 4. Ang last kasi is the number of sales representatives. So you also see the level of significance right here. They are significant, no? So you have that one. So seasonal differencing, kaya 0, 1, 0 siya. Okay? So 0, 1, 0, yung mga 1 na yan, those are the differencing. Okay? Tapos you have the estimates. These are the parameter estimates, 1.5 and 315.2. So, well, if we are just going to interpret this one as the regression parameters, if you increase the number of catalogs by 1, sales of men's clothing will increase by 1.5. However, for phone lines, you increase number of phone lines for ordering, number of sales of men's clothing will increase by 315. So which one has a greater impact? So based on this, kita mo ang kanyang effect size would be yung number of phone lines. Question here is that magkano naman yung phone line by that time if you're going to install one more phone line compared to just print one more catalog. So these are some of the issues and dilemmas that facing the decision maker within this kind of what is this data analysis. Okay. The outliers, ito yung kanya mga outliers. So this is now your graph. This is just to observe. Parang hindi ko yata na-click yung estimated, no? So if we're just going to, if we're going to run that one again, dito, time series modeler, and then let's click on plots. Plots. Forecast. Click on the forecast and then fit values. Hindi pa pala. Hindi natin kailangan. Sige, run na lang natin. Okay. So you just have to save that one, predict through. So looking at the fit values, talagang malapit din siya sa observed values, no? Okay. Seasonal differencing siya. If you can observe, I do not know if you can see. January ay yung fit niya nag-start na ng next year, no? That would be 1990 of January. So nag-start naman yung date is 1989. So ang seasonal differencing means January of 1989 to January of 1990. If you're going to do the differencing, January of 1990 minus January of 1989. And then so on and so forth. So that's the model and it fits the data well. Okay? So as I have said, mataas yung R-square nito, no? It's 0.9. So that's why maganda yung kanyang model na nagawa. The model can be used for forecasting. Okay, so you can use these two variables to forecast men's clothing, sales of men's clothing. So may exercise na naman dito. I'm not going to require you to do this anymore, but as a matter of exercise and enrichment of your forecasting skills, I suggest and I encourage everyone to do this. I'll be discussing this one also during our face-to-face meeting. So may mga results naman yata dito, no? So these are the results. Just try to go over the results and we are going to I would like us to be on the same page when we face each other next week. No, on the same page, meaning to say you already have an insight of what the analysis has done, and we can readily deliberate and discuss and come up with a conclusion based on the analysis that has been done. Okay, so just follow slides 5, 6, 7, and 8. We are going to discuss that one next meeting. Okay, do you have questions on this? Clarifications? Am I still heard or na-cut na ko?
Naara ka do.
Naalis ko po ito.
Tingalaw. Hadlo ka na yung nana ba? Kaya di mo gutaan yung screen. Kaning nga screen. Nya. Sige ko yaw-yaw. Kato din, naputol na. Ba? Perting dugayag yaw-yaw. Nya, naputol na. Sige. So, ingato lang sa siguro for that particular topic, no? I'm going to leave the 5, 6, 7, and 8 for you to figure out and come up with your insight. I think we're down to the last module. Gikoridas na ni ba? Hapit na mo mga semester. Sige, magudtag kuan ba? Sige, magudta og holiday. Ang gamay naman lang ni. This is just an additional processing or understanding of or treatment of data to just to understand the data. Seasonal decomposition and spectral plots. Seasonal decomposition, a process that aids time series modeling, treat data structures such as seasonality and trend. So when you say decomposition, we get rid of the seasonality, we get rid of the trend. Okay, seasonal decomposition. Type of series generated from seasonal decomposition procedure. SAS, you have seasonally adjusted series. This is the original series without seasonality. So tinanggal natin yung seasonality niya. So if you can remember yung variables from the last slide. Let me check if it is here or in the other slide. Ay, ito. If you can see this one, meron siyang seasonal decomposition here. Seasonally adjusted series. Seasonal factors, we use this one for, I think this is for yung double smoothing technique. Okay? So, kailangan mo ng seasonal factors to come up with that smoothing constant. Yung seasonal factor na yan is anyway, may explain natin later. I-generate naman siya ng expert model. So before, when I taught this one in undergrad, pina-compute talaga yung kada isang seasonal factor na yun eh. But that is actually using Excel, madali na lang. Dire-diretso na siya. So drop-down list na lang yun. Smooth trend cycle. So smooth SAS, this is the seasonality. Wala nang seasonality, no? SAS na siya eh. So, however, in-smooth mo lang yung trend at saka cyclic components. Yung seasonality kasi is the very immediate movement of your variations of your data series, no? Immediate meaning to say within the year. So yung smooth trend, STC mo, smooth trend cycle is natanggal niya yung seasonality pero hindi niya natanggal yung trend at saka yung cyclic component. So meron kang STC to address those issues. Use the file catalog and examine the structure of the data series in terms of trend, cyclic, seasonality, and periodicity. Perform seasonal decomposition, decide what series to use in forecasting. Ano na lang yan? Next meeting na lang din yan. Hopefully matapos natin yan sa next meeting. So wala na palang presentation next meeting. Hirap na. Sige lang. Dito sa number 2, gagamitin natin yung series na SAS at saka STC for the forecasting already. Okay? And then, i-evaluate natin kung ano ba yung mas magandang performance. Yung seasonally adjusted na series or yung smooth trend cycle na series or na smooth trend na SAS na series. Okay? For spectral plots, this is an extended analysis of the data structure of your series. So when we say extended analysis of the data structure, we are further investigating on the kind of data that you have based on its structure. Shows and magnifies spaces between peaks in the data and in the data series. Perform spectral plot analysis gives us periodogram, which shows spikes relative to frequencies that correspond to the time observation series. Spectral density, begin in time, and spectral density shows the smooth version of the periodogram, eliminating any background noise in the data series. Okay, so gawin na lang din natin yan sa next time. Okay, so far, for today, I would like you to perform already your expert modeler, and if you have time, you can explore this spectral plots as well as yung seasonal decomposition. So you can see your seasonal decomposition over here. When you do the analyze, then meron kang seasonal decomposition command there, and then there's also the spectral analysis for your spectral plots and what is this? Periodogram. Okay. So yun naman yung ibibigay niya sa atin for periodogram and spectral density. Spectral plots and spectral plot gives us spectral density and periodogram. So try nyo lang yan. Hopefully, you'll be able to find meaning, and hopefully you'll be able to follow the slides or the topics that I have discussed. Okay. So I'll give you enough time to perform those things and explore those things. If you have questions, you can ask them now. Parang wala na silang question. Mas maganda
Doc,
kasi talaga yung pagka face-to-face. Yes, Kevin, go ahead.
own data set po namin ang gamitin or yung nasa presentation niyo po?
Mas maganda kung unahin mo yung nasa presentation, tapos isunod mo yung data set mo. Then try to compare kung yung presentation mo, how yung data mo, how it is different or how it is similar to that of the example. No? So tingnan mo lang kung the same ba ang behavior nila or baka masyadong malayo yung difference ng dalawa. At sa kung bakit sila malayo, then probably that is because of the structural differences in your data series.
Salamat po, Doc.
Welcome. Any more clarifications? Okay, so hope to see you next Saturday. I think next Saturday is, kano sa ba na siya? May 6, no? May 6. Yeah. Kasi ang last natin is 20 eh. So 6 plus 12, that would be 6 plus 7, that would be 14 ang sunod, no?
May
Tama ba yun?
13, Doc.
13, 6 plus 7. Okay. Sige. So 13 ang next Saturday. So sa 6 mag face-to-face tayo, then probably your presentation, very brief presentation na lang on the 13th. Okay, and then final exam na tayo sa 20. That would be our next steps. That would be our schedule for the remaining what? 3 more sessions. Okay. Okay na tayo so far? No presentation muna tayo. I would like you to explore the commands that I have presented so that by next meeting, madali na sa atin, no? So, wala na mo start from zero. Mo start from the beginning. Okay? So, have an advanced skill and knowledge about those commands because you will be needing those in order to enrich your discussions for your paper. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to come up with a publishable paper already. Gandahan niyo yung data ninyo para hindi tayo ma-question sa publication. So the data has to be not limited. Unfortunately, sad to say, it must not be limited to very few samples. The more samples, the better. If you can manage to grab a data set of around at least siguro 300, so probably that would be a good sample size for us to elevate your paper into publishable format or popularized version. So help me on this. Well, probably I'm also helping you because that is one of your requirements also in your PhD to finish your degree. So, yun lang ang hiling ko sa inyo is your data, huwag nyo i-limit if you happen to, if you can, if there is a possibility to extend your data set to at least 300, parang acceptable na yung 300 na yan. Okay? Pero pagka mga 60, medyo hirap tayo dyan. Though, hindi ko naman kino-close yung door na hindi na siya pwedeng popularized version or publishable format for 60. 100. After all, ang aking dataset nga is 120 lang. Hindi ko pa rin siya napapublish because of that hesitation. No? Sa dissertation ko, it's just 120 ang dataset ko. But that is panel data. So, magta-times how many ako. Then that would be several also. But anyway, for you, para you will not face the same issue and hesitation, this time around, I encourage everyone to come up with at least 300 sample size. Okay, so just to increase our level of assurance for popularizing your research. Okay, so that's just a piece of advice and encouragement as well as plea from my end. Okay, any clarifications and questions?
Doc,
Yes,
pwede ra mag-ilis og data, Doc, kay katong ako 121 raman to, Doc.
Extend lang. You don't have to change the data set. You can actually extend that one. Kumbaga, taasan nyo lang yung time consideration. So if you consider 1990 to 2022, then gawin mong 1980 to 2022 or 1970 to 2022. Or if it is annual, then gawin mo siyang quarterly or gawin mo siyang monthly. So, ganun siya.
Kaya ang issue sa ako, Doc, di yun ako makuha ng autocorrelation na to, Doc, na okay ba, sa pay lain ato nga paagi nga ma-corrected?
Yeah. So, at least you are all aware of autocorrelation, stationarity. Then, let the expert modeler handle that one and see if how the expert modeler handled it if you cannot handle it yourself. No? So, ganun naman yung sense nun eh. So, if the expert modeler gives you a very bad model, then you probably need to go back to the drawing board and consider extending your data, or if not, transforming your data, data management in general. Manage your data well so that you don't put garbage in, and no, diba? You don't put garbage in so that the result will not be also garbage. So, ganun lang. So, if you're not satisfied with the result of the expert modeler, we can do something. We are not helpless. I already gave you the tools, the necessary concepts on how to improve the quality of your data. so that you will be satisfied with the result of the expert model. Yes, Ma'am Jo, go ahead.
Oo. So, Doc, sa experts modeler, ma-improve pa niya ang R-square. Kay sa ako apod, kung na-remember na to last time, murag ang DW, murag igo ra sad siya sakay sa iyahang pagka-normal. Murag I think, oo, 0.053 lang siya. So, pag-compute na ko, o pag-run, naalang sa 8% ang iyahang R squared ba kung pangit man kayo ni nga model. So with the experts modeler naa pa by chance nga mutaas ang iyahang R square. And then ang second nako, Doc, if I would to consider, pwede ba kay Caraga region lang manggud to nga mga data, and that's around siguro mga 60 lang pod, kay kung ni 120 ko magka-problema ko sa iyahang normality. Though i-try lang po nako. Pwede na siya, Doc. Instead of limiting to Caraga region, tibuok Pilipinas, i-try lang sad nako ba kung para mas mudaghan ang kuan. The same thing gihapon lag volume pero ang Caraga murag ana.
So for the entire Philippines, dili na siya himubuakon sa different regions, Ma'am Jo, ha? Kay kung mag-consider kag different regions, you will be dealing with panel data already. Wala ta naka-discuss og panel data, but instead, time series data ang atong focus. In forecasting, we need time series data also. But there's also a way of forecasting panel data. Pero when you do Philippines, just Philippines, ayaw buak ka sa different regions. So Philippine data siya, several years siya or several months within those several years. So ato siya pag-increase sa data set nimo.
So dili kinahanglan no nga by region kung unsa to iyang monthly kinahanglan kuhaon ako ang average sa tibuok.
Ayaw.
All regions.
Ayaw to. So ang imuhang gi-discuss nga R square nga mubo, actually wala pa man tay model yata that time, Ma'am Jo, no? So you don't have to be worry pa because yung expert modeler will determine the best fitting model. So definitely it will give you a better R square than 0.08 or 8% R square. Wala pa man ta nag-run og forecasting model nimo that time. So this time pwede na siya nimo i-run. So i-consider na niya nga mga issues nimo sa Durbin-Watson, sa autocorrelation, sa normality, stationarity, and heteroscedasticity. I-consider na ni expert modeler tanan. So i-treat na niya by itself. So sa expert modeler, kay expert man gid daw siya. So siya karon ang mag-tweak sa mga different different ways how to improve the analysis, no? How to improve the forecasting analysis based forecasting analysis of your data. Okay? So yun lang sabi ko sa inyo kanina, pagka with the best effort ni expert modeler, dili paghihapon mo satisfied. So you have to do something with your data na i-feed sa iyaha. So that might or that should that should give the expert modeler better data to process, and so the expert modeler will give you a better result from the previous one. So ingana lang siya. Okay? Any more? Sige. So for next week, hands-on tayo. Intensive yung hands-on dyan. It's because hindi kayo matuto pagka hindi hands-on eh. So pagka puro yaw-yaw lang, mahirap matuto dyan. Lalo na sa may application, no? Lalong-lalo na sa paggamit ng software. Well, basically, from all the trainings that I have attended, di ba may mga evaluation yan, doon sa remarks, parati kong sinasabi na mas mabuti kung may intensive hands-on compared to all lectures. Kasi naman yung lecture, pwede naman niya i-discuss pagkatapos ng hands-on. So, pag pina-hands-on mo yung participants, pinaran mo sila, tapos marunong na sila mag-run, the next thing is how to interpret the results. So yun na yung lecture dapat. Anyway, that is why mas maganda talaga pagka naka-classroom setting tayo in this particular class. Pero pagka mga puro bla 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 lang, okay, problema na, di nato kinahanglan ng classroom. Pero pagka ingon-ani nga na ay mga applications, well, probably that is the design must be really in a classroom setting, not in an online platform. That's for me, ha. I do not know for you. Baka okay lang pud mo sa online. Kay considering also the distance of other some of you. Okay? Kitsa gani taga Davao diri. Si Ma'am Joy Rayata taga Davao diri. Ma'am Joy taga Davao magano? Marichel? Si Ma'am D?
Davao po,
Six.
Doc.
Oh, Ma'am, si Ma'am Joy is Davao. Si Ma'am D?
Davao po, Doc.
Jillian is also Davao. Duha ra yata. Murag tulo ra yata mo Davao. Si Ma'am D murag I suspect taga Davao po ni. The rest murag taga Lagyo ni. It's because of the online platform, no, na you were encouraged to enroll also. Yeah. Just as I suspect, Ma'am D. Okay, so much has been said. Leave you with the remaining topics to explore, and then also if you have missing exercises, please, what is this? Upload them now in our Dropbox. Inventory, Ma'am Joy, walay exercise 1, exercise 4, Dexter, Marichel, and Ma'am M. So wala mo exercise 4. And then exercise 5, there are several, 2, 4, 5 lang ang nakabutang. For exercise 6, there's only 1. I think that's Jillian. Okay, so just finish all of this. See you on Saturday next week. Okay, any more before we depart?
Doc Jo, ang
Yes.
ako aday tuong submission din ha, naisa man gud nako pag-prepare ba niya, nag-apas pug ko nga ma-send nako exercises 4 and 5 na, so ako na lang gi-copy paste po dito, Doc, isa ra ka document.
Sige. Basta nalay include dito kay pag mag-check manggod ko ana isa ka exercise tanan nga kuan, sa ka batch. Sa ka exercise
so
tanan nga batch dili ka da isa-isa, no? So ana lang siya. Basta as long as naisulod tong inyong link dito sa kada exercise kay para makita nako, malocate nako, ha? Ana lang.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay. Okay, see you next Saturday. Bye everyone.
Bye, Doc.
Doc.
Bye, Doc. Bye, Doc.